In Tibet, a noble elder stood silently watching starry skies. A young woman alone in the world, she was taken in by the sisterhood and given a home. It was a chance for redemption, a new start. But never mind that, I'm going to Tibet and following these directions just in case somebody asks for a plant that I don't have. Let me just arrange these here. So where is Tibet? Oh, here it is. Let me just move this over here. A noble elder stood silently watching starry skies. I found myself on a patch of moorland and surrounded by jagged peaks and menacing clouds. A distinctive plant stands out against this waste of purple heather. And there, another. Okay, and with that in mind, Simone, well, that was quick. Long Meg? Sorry, but I've not heard of it, but I'll keep an eye out for you in the library. As long as you can get me some fever kiss, that is. Well, now I know what that actually is. Too many late nights at the library are taking their toll. Yeah, I can confirm that's it. Mountain Astery promotes an aura of confidence and persuasiveness. The large cup-like flowers produce a stale, damp smell. Okay, well, I better... Sorry, I thought I could use plants with these other items. I guess I can't. Ah, post office. There's talk around the town of a woman who wears a green mask made of jade. There are all sorts of oddballs and underneath, but that's certainly unusual. Yeah, she's been to the shop a couple of times. Beckfoot Candle. Can't be right, Beckfoot Candle. Well, I mean, is there anywhere named Beckfoot here? I don't see a Beckfoot around here anywhere. Oh, here's Beckfoot. But what is it? Oh, maybe the candle's here, but I doubt it. I find myself outside a beautiful house, almost hidden in overgrown foliage. A deep hum of bees suggests a hive is nearby, and heavily laden apple tree leans temptingly from the other side of a high wall. I would dearly love to stay and explore the gardens of this hidden sanctuary, but I do not have the time. So again, there's something here, but Kentmere and Beckfoot Candle don't really mean much. At least not the eye on the candle parts. I've been talking to people around town, trying to learn as much as I can about this beast that is rumored to have been seen in these parts. In the old world, they call this thing the Servant, but the people here seem to have forgotten that name. Except the group calling themselves the Seeds of Redemption. They are something I did not expect, and they have made it clear that they want me to stay away from the Servant. They seem to worship it. But I'm getting distracted. My Dranthim supplies are low. I need more. Okay, well, this doesn't tell me anything about what Dranthim is, only a really vague description of what the leaves look like based on the drawing. I do have a candidate in mind for it, though. And there aren't a whole lot of unidentified plants to pick from, thank goodness. It is most likely this one, because of the leaves, how long and pointy they are. Yeah, I was right, Dranthim. Then I have an entry for Palliance. Most plants offer a small improvement to air quality, but the Palliance is in a class of its own. It is sometimes called sweet breath, thanks to the freshness of air in its vicinity. The many short leaves of this plant are thought to help filter toxins from the surrounding air. Wait a second, that guy who came in, his eyes looked kind of green, didn't they? Maybe he's been on this too long. This Dranthim, I mean. So let's get me a Kentmere Eye. And what was the other thing? Beckfoot Candle. Should I start surrounding... should I start looking at... Wait a second. Eyes are round, right? So... Or at least kind of circular. So maybe Kentmere Eye refers to something that looks sort of like an eye that's sort of near Kentmere. In other words, this. The circle of ancient rhyolite boulders has been a site of ritual importance for hundreds of years. A lone pillar of red sandstone stands off to one side. Okay, so that's obviously not Kentmere Eye. I crept around Black Coombe 2 nights ago in the pitch black. That eyebird is some potent stuff. I could see clear as day. Up on the fell I found a shallow pit full of skulls. Some deer, fox, badger, and some human. There was an eerie silence about the place, and every part of me was screaming to get out of there. Back down on the flat I heard a terrible noise, like an axe maker's whetstone, but unmistakably animal. High on the ridgeline I saw a cowled woman wearing a jade mask watching me, and beside her something dark, inhuman, and bloody huge. And possibly skeletal, perhaps? I don't mind admitting that I'm out of my depth on this one. I'll need to speak to Verona again. While I'm here, I'll grab some wild coal for my pounding head. You'd have been out drinking too if you'd seen what I did. Okay, so I'm looking for a plant with purple berries. Well, those aren't berries. How many fruiting plants do I even have that aren't identified yet? And what about this one? No. But again, what's left? I mean, some of these plants have flowers but not berries. Some of them have berries but not flowers. Maybe I should be looking only for the fruits. But none of them have any. That's just a disgusting smelling fungus. This one doesn't have berries either. This one has orange fruits instead of purple ones. In other words, once again, I don't have this plant. Wait, those are buttons? Well, what exactly is that supposed to mean? Hold it. What if I have to make the buttons look like the symbols? And while I'm at it, what order are they supposed to go in? Because I got them all here, but unless this is another one of those... Wait, do I have to put these together like they were puzzle pieces? It's starting to look that way. Well, this one piece doesn't really fit in with the rest. Unless... yeah, they're very subtle, but they're there. Okay, let me just switch these around a bit. What on earth is this? Robert Barre's Medicinal Herbology, Blackhall Road, Kendall. A Briar's disc, often called a smuggler's disc, is a simple device that can be used to send coded messages. The location of cached cargo, for example. The principle is cunningly straightforward, but the code is undecipherable to prying eyes. Both parties must be in possession of a disc of identical size with the same symbols etched around the edge and a map. To encode a location, you would then place the disc over some named point on the map nearby and note whichever symbol is pointing to the location. It may be necessary to string multiple symbols together, but you can use this method to reach any other point on the map as required. I think I'm starting to understand this whole mere eye thing. Then I've got a Trimble Huff, traditionally used as decoration at weddings, thought to strengthen relationships. A cross section of the small cup-like flowers. They generally point downwards to avoid filling with water to allow easy access for pollinating insects. That's what the drawing is. And the Devil's Nightcap. This plant is known colloquially as a corpse's friend. If ingested as a seed, it will cause a slow, agonizing death, and the plant will grow out of the body once deceased. It has a light, pleasant scent, not dissimilar to pine needles. Boiling the root in vinegar creates a tonic against fevers and poisons. And this thing is just a coin. 1813 Gosforth. But I think I understand what this Kentmere Eye thing is. Kentmere Eye. From Kentmere, I follow the bearing of Eye and end up in a small forest north of Kendal. The woods are thick with briar and brambles, but amongst the tangled undergrowth, a type of flower is flourishing. And I think that's what I need. This, if it isn't wild coal. Yeah, here we go. Wild coal, plant identified. Norwood. A bite of the crunchy root of this plant has the effect of a cold bucket of water thrown over the face. An unpleasant sensation accompanied by sharp focus. It is claimed that Norwood releases spores that are invisible to the naked eye, showing up only under unnatural light. Do I have any UV lamps here? Okay, well, I'm gonna water some of these and get some more will to explore, because there's another secret location which is encoded by that disc I've got that I used on the map to find what Kentmere Eye was. Oh, never mind. So, what was the other clue that wasn't Kentmere Eye? Beckfoot Candle. Well, I found Beckfoot at one point. Yeah, here it is. Beckfoot Candle is here. The candle leads me east of Wastwater, to the north of the mighty Scaffold Pike. To the north, the mighty Scaffold Pike graces the sky, the tallest peak in England. Oh, that's where this is? The challenge beckons to me. Perhaps another time. That's a freaky looking plant there. Okay, let me just archive these things here. Put this back. And serve the next customer. Seemed to startle my cat. Well, this looks like the right place. I don't want to have to traipse all the way over to Red Pike, so I'm hopefully got what I'm after. It's a non-flowering plant with smallish leaves, and it seems to grow mostly on Red Pike. At least that's the only place I've found it. Red Pike. That sounds familiar. I don't know why. Non-flowering plant with smallish leaves. Wait a second. A non-flowering plant. Is it a common trouse? Yeah, Red Pike is mentioned here. Okay. Maybe if I went to Kendal and asked for Robert Barrow when my Will to Explore comes back up. Poor Reuben, he looks a little worse for wear this morning. He took it hard when his wife died and never did quite give up the drink. I think I know what ritual was performed at the stone circle. It all adds up. Someone called to something across the void and tried to bring it here. And with the state of that body all torn to shreds, I'd say they succeeded. Is that skeletal thing that showed up in the dream? And then the gilded dendra, that really got me thinking. I found this in Dr. Worthing's bestiary. A little light reading for you. I'm headed to Grisdale Forest again. The Sisterhood will know more. It has many names. Some call it the Woken Dendru, believing it to be related in some way to the deadly gilded dendra plant. Others call it the Night Stalker, the Miasma, or the Dread, but the most common name for it in the Shires is the Servant. You'll have heard of it in children's songs such as Keep the Fire Burning and Servant and Master, and there are hints of it in the older stories, but nobody alive has seen it in the flesh. It is said that the dead ground northeast of Tibet, where nothing but black Digitatus mortis grows, was caused when the serpent last walked our lands hundreds of years ago. Dead ground northeast of... It's not that. again, northeast of Tibet. Tibet sounds familiar. Ah, here it is. Northeast of Tibet. I just hope it doesn't mess me up too bad. The wide area of blackened ground here is known to locals as Dead Man's Field. Dark mushrooms protrude from the soil like fingers reaching out from the grave. They have one really nasty looking plant there. But what more can you expect? I still have no idea what long Meg is.